Hey y'all, it's your girl Rye.
And your girl Mel.
And welcome to the Waliante Podcast.
I guess we started different today.
Oh Lord, I done forgot how to do it. My bad, girl.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, y'all, but we are back in action. Period. Okay, so first what we're gonna do is we are going to start with our what?
Wild card.
Wild card. And I'm gonna read first so that Melissa can answer next. All right, it says, if you were to get arrested, what would it be for?
I would get arrested for starting something. Not starting something, but maybe ending something.
Okay,
like getting into a fight.
she about that. Don't play with her.
So that's probably what I get arrested for.
Starting what, though? Like, so this is something that would end in an altercation, a fight?
Yes, because it would be something either that, like, I see that I don't approve of, and I will say something.
Okay.
Or defending a friend.
Aww.
And I'd be like,
And you don't have to do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
You gotta throw them hands if you gotta throw them hands.
throw
period.
them hands.
Okay. For me, what would I do if I got arrested? What would I get arrested for? I honestly don't know. I think it would be the same thing.
Maybe defending
just
a friend.
participating in the fight.
Yeah.
Because I see my friend getting her ass whooped. I would participate in a system with, beating somebody's butt.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't see myself doing anything else. I don't know.
No.
I do have a smart mouth, and I probably have to be lit. Maybe if I was drunk, and I would probably... I'm the type that would say something wild in front of a police officer.
Oh, okay.
Or be a little disrespectful if I was lit.
I can see that, though.
Because I got a wild mouth. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, we are going to... You want to introduce the topic for today?
Yes. So, today we're going to talk about surviving our 20s.
Mm-hmm. Surviving our 20s. I think we are capable of, answering this question because we are in our late 20s. We'll share what our ages are in a sec, but I think we're qualified for this.
I agree.
We're going to share some gems. We're going to share some tea today. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, first question is, of course, how old are we? How old are you, right?
Okay, so I am the lovely age of 27 years old. 90s babies. Where you at?
Yeah.
I'm like at the end of the millennial. So right now I am 27 years old.
You know, somebody told me, by the way, that apparently we have a mixture of millennial and Gen Z.
In the 90s, yeah.
In the 90s? I could not believe it. I was like, no way, dude.
So you were born 97 and after you were a Gen Z. Yeah.
Well, 97 after.
Yeah.
But I'm 95.
Yeah, so you're a millennial.
Yeah, I'm a millennial. But
Yeah.
somebody was like, no, you also got a mix of Gen Z. And I was like, no, boo.
Don't tell me, boo. Okay.
I'm a full millennial.
Because you right in the middle of the 90s.
Yes.
Don't play with her. Get off her top. Now, me, I'm on the cusp.
Yeah, you're like right down the road.
But I went to school. We want to be technical. Because of my birthday. I went to school with 1995.
Yeah.
And 1996. Yeah. It was like that. So yes, I'm a millennial. Argue with your mama, not me. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so the next question. Ooh, this is a spicy question. Okay. So the first question is, did you have a whole phase in your 20s? Why or why not?
I wouldn't say I had a whole phase.
Okay,
It's kind of like yes or no. I would say it was more of like an adventurous phase, That's what we're going to name it.
What's the difference between an adventurous stage and a whole phase? Please tell.
Okay, so I would say like usually when people say they have a whole phase, it's because they slept with multiple people.
Okay.
I would say I had an adventurous phase because I was more on like, let me dab here, let me dab over here.
Ooh, not dibber dabber.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it never really led to like sleeping with multiple people.
Okay, so you were just talking to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you didn't give everybody the goods.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They couldn't go grocery shopping with you.
Yeah.
I got you.
It was just like you get a little taste here and there.
You get a little sampler. It's just a little sample, but it's not the whole thing. It's giving you Sam's Club.
Yes.
Costco. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You go to the guacamole section, little people there.
You were just shopping around, just a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, did you have a whole phase?
I absolutely did not have a whole phase. Yeah, I did not have one. I attempted to, but it just wasn't in me. I don't know why. I think it's hard for me to trust people and stuff like that already. So for me to even give people my energy, once somebody did one bad thing, I'm not talking to you no more. Block.
Yeah.
Or I'll end it in a second before it can even become anything else. So I probably had like a phase of just talking to a lot of people. Okay, like, you know, dating apps. This one I don't like you. On to the next one.
Yeah.
Just talking to a lot of people in general at one time. But I wouldn't consider that.
Yeah.
So no, not really. I didn't even date a lot, to be honest. Like, you really got cut off.
That's a good way. It's a good way because a lot of people get caught up in the mix, you know.
But people wanted me to have my whole phase. So once I got out of my relationship with my ex, they were like, "You just need to have a whole phase. You need to get over here. You need to have a whole phase." But I couldn't. I couldn't do it. It's just not in me. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm really like a romantic person. I'm like, I want to fall in love before we do anything. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I get it.
But yeah, I ain't really had no whole phase. It just isn't in me. I feel like there is nothing wrong with a whole phase. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. I think you learn a lot about yourself.
So how do you feel about, since we're talking about, how do you feel about girls in their 20s? Do you think that may be necessary for some people? Do they need to get that out?
I think for some people, yes, because a lot of people could be really sheltered. And when they go into this world, they get played.
Yeah.
You know?
So you think they need to practice getting played? What you mean?
I wouldn't say getting played,
but like enjoy life,
and
not take things so seriously.
Yes.
So that I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like it's like so backwards. I feel like a lot of dudes end up falling for the one that they least expect. So like she could be trying to figure herself out, right? But in the process, she could find also someone that she ends up falling in love with.
Correct.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
And the guy could be like, "Oh, I was always a button."
Yeah. Then I chose you. You was the one.
Yeah, you was the one. You was the one, baby girl.
You was the one. Yeah.
So it's just, you never know until you actually figure out what you like and you don't like.
Yeah, that's true, because that's a good way for people to figure out what they do and don't like. Especially like with sex and all that. Some people need those moments to kind of figure out what they do. And don't like. And this is for guys and girls.
Of course, yeah. I would say the same thing. I mean, obviously, I feel like guys have it way easier than females. You know, all they gotta do is just
pull it out, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out.
You know, but I would say like you never really stop learning about yourself.
You don't. Okay. So what do you think are most people's like closing points? Like, I don't want to be a hoe no more. When they find that word person.
Yes, or I think when it gets repetitive.
Yeah.
Like when it starts to get boring.
Yeah.
Like,
and then low key don't want to be deep, but you are like giving people part of you when you are doing that. So no judgment against people that do that. But I also think, what are your reasons behind it? Some people have a whole phase because they're trying to avoid things
or escape
and cope
things.
with things.
Yes.
So dang, all that plays a part.
Yeah.
And I guess that goes with them learning yourself.
Yes.
Like identify, am I really enjoying this, or I'm trying to hide something to avoid and things like that. Okay. You want to ask the next one?
Okay. So the next one is, what has been your biggest hardships in your 20s and how did you overcome them, or how are you still overcoming them?
I would say my biggest hardships. What are some of my biggest hardships? I would say learning how to make my own decisions, and also learning how to like be okay with being by myself. That was a hardship. So for some of you guys who don't know, I grew up, I have a lot of siblings. In my household though, for growing up, it was 5 of us in there, 5 kids in there. I was the oldest one. But you know, I was used to always being by somebody. I was always being able to go hang out with my sister or just be in a vibe with with a whole bunch of people. But when I got to college, I found myself struggling with that, which turned into me being like unhealthy as far as like my friendships, like always feeling like I needed to hang out with somebody to be valuable, or people always need to like me because I just couldn't be by myself. I wasn't okay with being by myself. And then it even got worse in grad school, right? But I also learned during that time, I had to learn how to be okay with being by myself and loving that alone time.
Yeah.
I never wanted alone time. I was like, okay, I got to be at somebody's house. I got to be calling somebody. I do not want to be at home bored, But I just learned by, getting hobbies, Yeah, so hobbies, taking myself to the movies, not being afraid to do things by myself. I took myself to the mall, had my little earphones in, and during that time I was able to discover what I love, like loving working out, love cooking, finding new recipes, and doing things like that. So yeah. And then we'll get into the, I guess, making your own choices. I think that's for everybody pretty much.
Yeah.
Like learning how to trust your own choice and not just do what mama said, daddy said. You know, cousin says learning what's best for you. I definitely had to overcome that struggle. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. What about you?
I would say kind of like along the same thing. Not really the whole like being alone.
Yeah.
Because I already was doing that even when I was here before college. I was kind of like just doing my own thing. But I think that once I went off to college, it kind of like exposed me to like, now I go to the bar alone, you know, like.
So you was being grown. I was able to do that. I still can't do the bar part.
I can now. I'll be like, I'm going to go drink some wine. I'm going to go do this. And I'll take a book or something. Yeah. And you don't necessarily always have to talk to somebody, right? But I think I also learned how to enjoy my time by myself. I think the hardest thing is not being an outside girl for me. I can never really stay put. Yeah. Because I always felt like I need to be doing something. You know, I need to be out. And maybe I do enjoy being out more than others.
That might be your personality.
Yeah, that might just be me.
Super extrovert.
Yeah. But I also realize that sometimes your social battery is a little...
Yeah, you need to sit your ass down.
I need to be in the bed sometimes.
You got to replenish yourself.
Yeah, so I have realized that now that I've gotten older, right? But it takes time. When you're younger, you have more energy. You'd be like, yeah, I'm ready to do everything, go out. Yeah. Now I'm like, do I really want to go there?
Yeah. So what do you think it took for you to learn how to be like, you know what, I need to be okay with like staying at home. I don't have to be outside every weekend. What got you to that point with being okay with just staying put?
Honestly, I had the help of somebody in the past where they were just like, you don't always got to be out. Yeah. You know, like your social battery, like, look at you. You look dead, my dude.
Dang.
You know?
They said you look
Yeah. And sometimes it's like you force yourself because I was also very involved at the time.
Do you think you were distracting yourself or something or avoiding something?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but I think it's just because I was so used to the fast pace
moving around. Yeah, I used to be like that too. Like always need to be busy.
Yes, always needing to be busy, and I think that at some point it catches up with you. Then you just kind of crash, and they'd be like, "I told you so." Yeah. Then I tell your ass to stay home.
Right. You know? Yeah.
So then you have to like obviously learn like, okay, you're doing too much. Yeah. It's okay to take a day. It's okay to say no. You know?
Learning to say no is a big hardship.
Learning to say no. Oh God, where do you start from there? But that's always a hard thing to do. But I would say like, yeah, that's probably one of the things that I would.
Okay.
Yeah, that I took from that.
We both had to learn how to be some independent girls and just able to know and recognize when we need to sit down. Yeah. And learning how to be on our own. Okay. All right. So this one says, how do you feel like you've evolved in your 20s? So if you reflect back to 20-year-old you compared to 28-year-old you, how do you feel like you've changed over that time?
I would say for sure I was mature then, but I would say like for sure reflected on a lot of things. Like, for example, saying no. Yeah. Being able to be accountable for your actions as well. Something that we talked about in our previous episodes.
You better check it out.
But obviously, like, 20-year-old me was stuck in her ways. Very, very stubborn. So, as you get older, it's just kind of like, it ain't doing it for you. Yeah. You know, like, you doing all this movement and stuff like that. Like, whatever you're running from, you just got to stop. If you're running from something. Yeah. You know, just exerting so much energy sometimes, even into certain people, it was just a lot. Yeah. And just because you felt like I felt like I had to, you know? So it was just kind of like, oh, she's doing this and she really wants me there and I can't really say no, but I'm tired. You know, like
exhausted.
And it's sometimes you have to like replenish your own cup because no one else is gonna do it for you.
Yes, girl. How you gonna pour it into somebody else with an empty cup, girl?
So it's just kind of like taking that time to be like, okay,
yeah,
just take it easy. So I would say like I evolved in that way. Also that I would say taking people's advice as well.
Being open to other people's advice.
Being open that sometimes they're trying to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes when people get advice from people, they're like, are you trying to tell me I'm doing something wrong? They get more defensive. You feel like that's what you're doing?
Yes. I feel like I would get easily defensive when it came to certain things. And then I had to learn like, they're not here to get you, girl.
Yeah, they love you. They just want the best for you.
Yeah. Like, just take it down a notch. So I would say that I was pretty like aggressive, I guess.
Okay.
So
not aggressive, girl. You wasn't playing.
Yeah.
You didn't like when people told you what to do. It felt like they were telling you what to do, not really giving suggestions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would feel kind of like, you're just telling me what to do. You're not really guiding me. And I didn't like that feeling.
Yeah.
So it just kind of be like, don't tell me what to do. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm figuring it out. But I think I made it harder on myself.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So what about you?
How did I evolve? I'm going to say basically kind of what I talked about earlier as far as like being confident in my own choices. I really had to work on that. Like back then, 20-year-old Ryan used to be like calling her mom every time to make it a choice, right? Let me talk to my mama first. Wait a minute. Let me go talk to this person, X, Y, and Z. I'm still kind of like that-ish. But it was bad. Like, I was not comfortable with making my own choices because I always had a fear that I made the wrong choice. Like, that type of anxiety about that. So I really had to learn how to trust myself, how to be like, you know what, Ryan? You've made all these good choices. Why wouldn't this choice be a good choice, you know? And also trusting in God, like... I'm a very, I got that faith, you know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that my relationship with God was just as, powerful as somebody else's. Because, growing up in, like, the church background is, like, what are those, people have, like, different levels of things. And I had to realize I can pray and listen to God myself. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always what mama prayed for and what she heard. I could hear it for myself too. So basically like being more confident in my faith, being more confident in myself as far as loving myself, guys. Ooh, I used to be like super insecure about my body, about myself and all that. Like, yeah, like depressing, like low self-esteem in the dumps. Like didn't even want to go to the gym by themselves. Now I'm at the gym wearing my little crop top, got my little tummy out. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So my confidence evolved, and what else? And being independent and being able to do things and trust my own decisions. Yeah. So yeah.
Do you feel like your anxiety like stemmed from something?
Yes, girl. I have a fear of rejection. I have a fear of failing. I know what's going on. I'm very self-aware. Yes, ma'am. I know. So you know me from my profession. I know that anxiety, depression, all that. There's a stem for that. There's a reason for it. There are triggers. And all that. So yes, my anxiety was rooted in things. I always felt like you said, never saying no. I felt like my value was a big discovery I had made. I felt like my value was in what I can do for others. So if I'm not doing anything for you, then you probably wouldn't value me. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I feel like I always had to actively be helping people, actively be doing things for people, even if I was tired, exhausted. I wanted to please people because I feel like that was the only way I had value. Like they wasn't going to just love me for me or pick me for me. Does that make sense? Like for my last friendships I talked about where I'm no longer really friends with them, I felt like my value was to entertain them, to make them laugh. But if I wasn't doing that, then I was pushed to the side, which I felt like really did happen, right? Once I disagreed, once I wasn't really playing that role like that, I did get kind of pushed to the side. So that was why that hurt me so much because I was already kind of dealing with that. Now I'm more like, you're going to have to love me for me. If I can say no. If you don't like me anymore because I said no, then that means you're not the person that's for me. Yeah, so I had to learn how to do that, for sure.
I mean, you just gotta put your glass and be like, does it look like I give a fuck?
This ain't it.
But okay.
Yeah.
Love all of that.
Just being more confident. That's what we got to do, guys, in 2024. I always say that like I'm running for president or something.
I don't know what you're running for.
Okay, you gonna ask the next question?
Yes.
Okay.
What is something encouraging you would tell someone in their early mid-20s?
Okay, guys.
What you got for these people?
Okay, guys. So for anybody that is in their early 20s and their mid 20s, or even like where we're at, you know what I'm saying? Because we're still in our 20s. I would say, just reflect. I think reflection is very, very powerful. Reflect on your growth. Reflect on the positive things about yourself, and reflect on the things that you need to work on. Like, make that like a monthly practice or a weekly practice, so that you're always in tune with yourself. I think a lot of times when we got a lot of stuff going on, like you said, we just become kind of stagnant, and we think we're always right. We're not really open for growth. So I say reflection, learning how to be by yourself. Just do that new thing. If there's something that you want to do not let you being alone stop that, right? So if I always said I need a gym buddy with me for me to go to the gym, and I was just always waiting to see if somebody would come, I would not have been consistent with going by myself and realizing, like, you know what, I like going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So don't let the fear of doing things alone, fear of judgment, fear of, people not understanding you, stop you from doing what you want to do. Even when it comes to your career, like, you have a dream or a goal for yourself, even if it's something different, like completely outside of what your family does. Like me, I'm the first LPC in my family. Most of my family is educators. Mental health wasn't even a thing like that. Going to therapy, it was not a thing at all. Like, school counseling, okay. But going to therapy was not a thing. I had to branch out and be like, you know what? This is what I really want to do. And now my family is more open to that. More open to talking about therapy, mental health. My dad's asking me advice to help one of his friends and their kid. I was like, whoa, So stepping out on faith and stepping out on what you feel like you need to do for your life, despite what anybody thinks, I think that's one of the biggest things that you should do, guys. So just keep yourself motivated. And also, I be ranting. One last thing. Everybody's not going to motivate you. Do not wait on other people's motivation to get you to do something. You have to be your biggest cheerleader, period. I can't rely on Mel every time to be like, you got this, girl. What if she having a bad day? Maybe I can't get that from her that day. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be like, I gotta be like, today.
Right. She might be out of commission. I gotta be like, you know what, girl? You got this. You can do this. You're gonna push through. So yes, be your biggest cheerleader too.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I would say I agree. Like self-reflecting is a big one. And obviously not projecting fear in your life or in other people. Like, if someone comes to you, don't project fear in their dreams or their goals. Like, don't do that, because it's already hard enough. Some people suffer from anxiety, depression. You don't know what they're going through. And they're reaching out to you to hopefully it be a different outcome.
Exactly.
And if you're just projecting your fears or whatever it is onto them, then it doesn't really help somebody. Yeah. And I do agree with Rye. Like, the fact is, like, you can't expect other people to motivate you. You have to motivate yourself.
Correct.
And just remind yourself, like, I got a goal. This is where I'm going. And just reflect, like, on anything. Because it's hard. Like, I'm going to tell you what I do.
Yeah, tell us, girl. Spill the tea.
I be telling Ryan sometimes, I'm like, girl, I have to cry it out for like 5 minutes. Yeah. And then be like, all right, I'm a bad B now. Yeah. All right, I'm good.
Back in action.
Back in action. Like, let's get this going. But it's just sometimes, because I also don't want to bother her, or like she said, we don't know what she got going on, and it's already hard enough that we go through our jobs and it's been a long day and stressful day. People don't know, and I'm here sitting about my problems. She probably like, not today, man.
Yeah, look, I just got to talk about everybody else.
I ain't got no more advice for you today.
My tank is empty. Yeah. Sometimes our cups are empty.
Empty, yeah. So sometimes I gotta be like, all right, we gonna do this. Wipe the tears, get back up, and keep pushing.
Yeah, you gotta be your own cheerleader.
Yeah.
And optimism is key.
Yes. Just reminding yourself, like, you made it this far and you're good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No.
Period. Period.
Oh, God.
Yes. Okay, that was a little conversation. Okay, 20-year-olds. So if we were missing anything from this conversation, always feel free if you want more insight and more questions about 20s and things like that, you can definitely share that with us in the comments or in DM, and that can be one of our untamed Q&A questions. Like if there's anything that we missed, you can always ask that later.
Yeah, or you can share your experiences.
Yeah, share your experiences with us.
And they could be good ones, it could be bad ones.
I want to know all the tea. Give it to me. I want it piping hot, honey boo boo. With a honey. Okay, so untamed Q&A. So that is, what is your opinion on the whole Chris Brown and Quavo drama? How do you feel? How do you feel about it?
Oh God! So let me tell you something. I be living in a bubble under a rock.
It does.
Right now. So I had heard the story, right? But we had to play the track, and I was like, all right, now Chris, my boy here. Super talented. He went in.
Don't play with him.
He said, "Bitch with the braids." Oh, like, nah, bitch with the braids. I was like, oh God.
Dang.
But I would say it's crazy. I think it's always crazy that rappers. I don't know what it is. Why do you think they do this diss track for?
Because don't play with me. Get off my top, man. That's how they be feeling.
Hey, I also saw a meme that they were like, "What do you think that the Migos be praying about?" Anyways, but that's for a different day. But why is that? Why do you think? Is it an ego thing?
I think it's an ego thing. I think that real stuff be happening. They be sharing it through, we only know so much, right? We don't know what's going on. They're celebrities, blah, blah, blah. There's some other stuff that is going down. And I feel like if you're making a good diss track, that's a good way of embarrassing the person, too. Because he spilled some stuff like that. Chris Brown's lying about Takeoff. He was wrong for that.
He was wrong for that.
He was wrong for that. That was
you can't like wish that on anybody.
Yes.
Come on now. It was unfortunate. I was like, oh shit.
I said it's a rap.
Yeah.
We ain't rapping no more. I would not have been dissing him. I would have been beating him. I don't come on violence, but come on now. That's like, fresh. Where he at though? Yeah. Where he at? But it was lit. I do think, unpopular opinion, but very popular opinion, that his diss was way better than Quavo.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know what the heck Quavo was talking about.
I mean,
he needs some writers. He needs some help. He needs some assistance.
Like, where Future at?
It wasn't giving. We need help. We need help with your pen, sir. Because the pen was not penny.
I mean, obviously, I don't know what stemmed it to start in the first place.
Them, they fighting over a girl, fighting over a woman, they grown ass men.
I was like, a woman that apparently only be dating people with money. So I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
I know y'all saw her rap sheet, right?
She do? She got a long rap sheet?
No, I'm just saying, like, I just be like, she be changing her man, like changing underwear.
Not a different pair every day. Oh wow.
I was just like, don't get me wrong, she's
she's very beautiful.
Yeah, she is beautiful.
And talented-ish.
And I don't know about the talent, but too much.
Damn.
That's my opinion.
It's very much your opinion.
I mean, yeah. I can do a tap in.
Yeah. Get a little workout song, get a little cardio song.
That's about it.
But yeah, I just think it's very interesting how all these disses are happening between Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, all them. It's just a lot of drama happening, and I think that people are very entertained by it. I listen to podcasts, and that's all in every podcast. It's something about Crib Mound, something about this. I'm like, okay, can we get back to like regular stuff?
Exactly.
I'm over it. It's becoming annoying now.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think at some point, like earlier too, like what is it when Cardi B had a diss or Nicki Minaj?
No, Nicki Minaj and Meg had a diss. That's what fired this all up. That's what started all of this.
I was like, not another one.
Not another one. And another one.
Like DJ Khaled. I was gonna say the same thing. But yeah,
my opinion is, please get it over with, and I hope it doesn't lead to violence. The beat was fire though on the disc.
No, it was like I can be dancing to this.
Yes, I was like this. I was looking twerking. After the takeoff line, I had to stop, but afterwards, I was like, okay. I was like, better twerking again because that was busted. That was lit. Sorry, Quavo, you lost, but there's time for improvement in life.
Yeah, he can come back.
He can come back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys, all you got for that one?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, so that was our Untamed Q&A portion. Like you said, if you guys have any questions or you guys want our thoughts on anything, our opinions or advice about anything, DM us. okay? Or post it under the comments if you don't care about people knowing. And we would definitely get to those questions on the next episode.
See.
Alrighty, so we are going to end our podcast today with an affirmation. So do you want to go ahead and read that affirmation?
Oh, yes, I would love to. Okay, so for today's affirmation is, I let go of anything that won't help me reach my destination.
Yes. Let go of everything that is not assisting you with reaching your destination. I was about to say definition. Okay, so if it's a person, if it's a mindset, a negative mindset, anything like that, let it go. Let it go. Yes. It's getting frozen. Okay. So yeah, that was all for today. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening in. We appreciate your support and watch out for our next episode.
Yes. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Besos.